Cottonwood Cove is a place I used to go with Kevin Murphy. His family, it's on the Colorado River, and it's like probably 10 to 20 miles south of the Hoover Dam.
Does that mean it's in Arizona?
You enter on, I don't know, you go across California into Nevada.
I'm gonna look it up. Let's just look this up real time. Cottonwood. Oh, Arizona. Yeah, it's in Arizona. Nice.
Yeah, it's a really cool spot. And it's like, if you look at a map, it's got these little ridges all through the river. And you basically have your own little beach area to yourself, because there's like hundreds. So even if there was like,
wow,
even if all the hotel rooms at Cottonwood Cove are full, and everyone could have their own beach. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many days did you go?
They always go for probably like 5 days. We used to make a trip out of it. So that Kevin had family, or has family, in Corona down south. So we would go to Corona. It's his uncle. And then we would spend the night there, shoot over to Cottonwood Cove, spend like 5 nights there, maybe hit Disneyland on the way back. It was a pretty cool. They have it to a T. They still go every once in a while. But
that's great.
That uncle moved, so I don't know if they've gone in a while.
A 5-day camping trip feels perfect.
Yeah,
and then
camping either. That's the thing, is it's like cottages. So.
Oh, so you weren't camping? Oh, I thought you were on the river floating down and then camping.
No,
each night
so like
in these little beaches.
Yeah, you get up at 5 a.m. You go either fishing or kneeboarding or wakeboarding or whatever you're doing, and then once it's like 9 o'clock and the water's super warm because you're like 20 miles down from the Hoover Dam, and so you literally just like pull up a spot every day. You bring like a cooler of whatever you're gonna have for the day, and you just like chill out. It's like your own paradise. And they've got
that's great.
They've got like spots where you can jump off. I think it's like 50 feet high jumps.
Oh, that's massive.
Yeah, I think there was a 50. We did the tallest. I think it was either 50 or 60. I think there's a 60, a 50, and a 40. And the first, like the first day you do the 40, then you get some courage, you do the 50. And then I almost broke my arm doing the 60 because like I went in, like you're doing this, and then I was like, last second. Anyway.
Oh my God. And then what? What do you mean you almost broke it?
Well, no, just like, if you do
you felt it
impact, you're gonna hurt something. And fortunately I did like one of these, like it was like a little bit right at impact. So I felt it, but I didn't break anything.
Oh my God, dude.
Like I was done jumping for the rest of the trip for sure. no more wakeboarding for me after that.
Oh my God. Dude, jumping off stuff is terrifying. Yeah. I'm okay with it, but I don't know. Usually heights are not my thing at all.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hate Ferris wheels.
If you can do a 60-foot jump, that's insane.
Yeah, like it's probably stupid. Like in your head, you're just ignorant to what you're doing. I mean, Kevin did it, and he had a heart transplant 3 years earlier. Like he should be doing that to his chest. But it was fun, and you're not cool if you don't do it. So peer pressure.
Actually, sorry, Doc, I can't. I gotta test this heart to the max. I gotta be cool.
Yeah, exactly. I remember his mom just being like, "You are not doing it," and he did it. It was funny.
That's cool too.
The cousin who got us all to do it, the guy who pretty much peer pressured us because he was so cool. He was like a nationally ranked wrestler, and then he went on this TV show called Something Ranch. Have you heard of it? It's like, what's it called? It's like where they it's like a strength competition. Dude Ranch? No, not Dude Ranch. Something Ranch. I forget what it's called. And it's basically like a mixture of strength obstacles, and you're competing one-on-one, and the winner has to.
You're telling me about this one time.
Yeah. So anyway, he was on it. He was like a defending champ for like 4 or 5 weeks on this thing. He won a ton of money doing it, and then anyway, that's who was our guy that we're trying to match his his bold.
Dude, trust me, dude. I got no ears. Like, this is gonna be sick.
Yeah. Twice our age, and we're like, oh, if he's doing it, we got to do it. We got to be cool like him. But it was worth it.
Nothing like wrestlers. Wrestlers don't usually. Yeah, I guess wrestlers have a lot of confidence.
You got to be cocky.
You have to be so confident. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd have the balls to call a wrestler cocky.
Oh, you gotta be. You gotta.
I think they'd be confident. I don't know. I think they're confident, more confident than cocky.
Do you think? Okay.
I think like a wide receiver.
What's the difference?
Is cocky. Like a wrestler can, someone who can back it up. I think maybe.
Okay. So that would mean that you could be cocky. No, you
like who's right on the line?
Who's you hold yourself about it?
I agree.
I guess if you're cocky, you're confident, but you're being a dick about showing it. That's why it's cocky, probably dick, cocky.
Yeah, you're being like when Steph shimmies, it's kind of a little bit on the line of maybe being cocky.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
So
though.
Cocky could be
maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cocky's probably.
I mean, I'm always cocky. I can't back anything up. I'm talking massive game.
Oh man.
Cocky is like my middle name.
I don't know if cocky has to do with again being ignorant, but so you know what happened. I'm gonna continue. You'll appreciate this because you're a triathlete. I'm gonna continue running, and it's only a half, but I'm gonna run a half in 2 weeks because I was signed up to do that. And
wow.
I wasn't allowed to run until like 3 days ago, so I'm gonna do a 3-week sprint to train for the half, which I think I'll be fine. But,
dude, yeah. So tell me more about the finger.
I mean, it's fine.
It's good.
Yeah. You want to see it?
Of course, I want to see it. How public is this?
Whatever. Hide your eyes.
All 14 listeners.
Yeah. So okay, that looks terrible on camera.
Oh my God, it looks like a burn, dude.
Okay, yeah. So
maybe back that up.
Can I bring this over here? Maybe.
Oh God.
Okay, so the way to think about it is like now it's just full scab mode. Can I do this?
Holy shit! Okay. So it's literally like a scab.
That's just a scab. Like the color of that is like really not showing well.
Is it black?
It's like dark
purple.
Dark red.
Purple.
Yeah.
Dark red. Yeah. Very scab
you
material.
You can kind of see like this. So the way it looks right now is actually a pretty good idea. Shit. So that's what doesn't look black is what was original skin. And that's what was like exposed after they stitched it up. So like, it's really cool that like this exists, but it's called, I've learned a lot, but this is called secondary intention healing. So I learned that there's primary intention healing, which is like you split.
Intention? You're saying the word
intention. Yeah.
Okay.
So primary intention is you have a gouge and they stitch you up skin on skin. You have a slice, skin is squeezed against skin. That's primary.
Like a stitch or a glue.
Or glue, staple, whatever. But
you
have a closed wound. Then you have secondary intention, which is what I had, which is where you have skin and skin surrounding it, but you don't have like a full close. So you have an open wound and it's secondary intention. And what's cool about like the finger is that it like grows back skin, whereas not every part of your body grows back skin. And then there's
what parts of your body don't grow back skin?
Most will not. So it all has to do with
that's why that they have to do the primary intention.
Right. So most places, and it just heals faster or less chance. Like this has a huge risk of infection. So I didn't find out until last Thursday. They were potentially gonna have to amputate. So like you can kind of see what's red right now. It's just
it looks purple.
So the red, it actually does right now. I just had it. It's like tan. I just had it wrapped. But like, okay, so you can see where it bends. That's the knuckle, right? So like, if you look at this one, that's this knuckle, right? Yeah. Right where it bends right here.
Yeah.
I just found out last Thursday that they don't have to cut down to that. That was a potential with secondary intention healing. So like in the ER room, I was given the option. Like, so first, they're not going to put the old finger back like that. There wasn't enough to stitch back. Well, there was enough to stitch back. It was going to die. It wasn't going to get blood flow. I was going to never have feeling in it. It was never going to grow. Like the nail would never be live. So it would like fall off one day. And they're eventually going to have to amputate if they attach the finger back. So that was never an option.
So they're like, yeah, we can attach it, but we'd have to
No, they wouldn't even
it.
like, they were like, this is what would happen. You would have like a finger for like a year, and then it would, well, or earlier, it would get infected or it would die. The skin would get all bad and gross, and then they would have to amputate. So that was never an option. It would be Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So second option is what they did, secondary intention, where you like try to close it up and seal it, like, you know, tie it like it's a open net, and you're like tying it as close together as possible. Or like think like a garbage bag, like you
yep. Oh straight, God. Right? Hell yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's basically what they did. But there's still the chance that it gets infected because this was all wet tissue until, I mean, this just scabbed probably like a week ago. So this was all soft tissue. It was all gross red, like bright red, gooey. Like it was nasty. Like this is, you think this might look nasty? This is great because I can touch it. It's all good.
Wow. Wow.
And then
it was bleeding or pussing?
No,
pussing?
Which pus would be the concern.
Pus. Yeah.
There was one time where I pulled off the bandage because for a while I had nonstick bandage because it was so wet. And one time I pulled it, and like just me trying to like squeeze it, like opened the wound and like blood kind of came out. But nothing bad pus wise at all, which is great because I had to soak it over and over again in like this sterile solution to keep it disinfected. What was crazy, the craziest thing was I'm in the ER room and they've numbed me up and everything. I'm fully aware. And they bring out that, you know, like before surgery, they rub this brown stuff all over wherever they're cutting. It's a disinfectant.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You know, it's like an orange brown.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. I've had that on. That was on my shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And they rub it on like anytime you're doing something, even like shots, they'll sometimes do it. They literally brought out a tray, just like cups of this stuff. And I sat there they made me put my finger in it for like 30 minutes.
Wow.
Like
this is like here. You're like in pain. Oh no, you're numb.
No, they numb me up. So I'm
but like, it's bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, bleeding. They put this like bandage, like a rubber band around.
Oh yeah.
So it was like dripping, but not bad. And I was just like thinking to myself, I'm like, this is what they rub on you before surgery. Like you're not supposed to soak in it, you know? And so I'm like sitting there with this open gouge, right? I'm just like, this cannot be healthy. God. Yeah. And I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, you want me to just dunk it? And they're like, yep, everything in there. And wow. I mean, what, you know, it was a bike. So they want every little piece of crap to be
completely sterilized. Yeah. Oh man.
So anyway, that
30 minutes.
My first choice was secondary intention. Second choice was to amputate at the knuckle. Then they can tie it up like primary because they'll have more skin. So I went with secondary because I got to keep this little nub. Maybe
wow. I could talk about a game time decision, dude.
Yeah.
Was it like a big decision? Like, or was it?
Yeah.
Like, so the doctors were.
Yeah, he's like talking to me like, hey, just so you know, like if this doesn't work, if it gets infected, it could be worse than you have it now. And not only that, like wow. You'll have to come back and do it all over again. And I'm just like sitting there and like, I'm still processing that I can't use my finger. Like, you know, I'm still trying to like,
you're like, okay, wait, this is real.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And just like in my head, I'm like trying not to be a dick because the surgeon was this phenomenal guy. I'm like in love with this guy. I literally have messages with him, and he was so nice about everything, but I'm still second guessing reattaching the finger. I'm like, why are we not reattaching the finger?
Yeah.
Then I'm also trying to decide, okay, like what am I gonna do? And I'm just
it's like a double whammy. You're like,
yeah.
Not only are we not reattaching the finger, actually, there's a good chance we take more off.
Yeah. So I'm just, and he was really confident.
Oh man.
And this is stupid of me. And I'm glad that like it didn't impact it the opposite way. But one of the reasons I chose to keep this is because he basically was like, look, I can work on you right now here in the ER room if you choose to keep this part. And all he did was he basically used like nail clippers pretty much on my bone they weren't nail clippers, but he just trimmed down the bone using like this little like,
whoa.
And like it just trimmed down my bone. Or he goes, if you want to do the amputation, we have to go into surgery. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, I don't want to go into surgery right now. And that was part of that, like factored into my decision, which it should not have.
I just want to go home.
Yeah.
I mean, it just does. It's a real-time decision, dude. Did you talk to Jessica about it?
No, I mean,
Jessica wasn't even there yet.
No one can be in the room with you because of COVID right now. So they're sitting freezing. My mom and my sister, and Jessica are outside freezing their butts off outside of Kaiser Walnut Creek. And
outside?
Yeah, because they wouldn't let them inside.
Wow, you were at Kaiser Walnut Creek.
Yeah.
There's a Kaiser closer to you.
Okay, so
in Pleasanton.
So okay. The whole day was pretty crazy, but I do the thing at 7 o'clock or whatever.
Slice of McGee.
Yeah, slice of McGee. Chopping the deli meat. So I'm calling my sister. I buy the chain lube, which is what caused this whole thing. I go to Lowe's. I buy lube for the chain. That's what caused this, right? So I buy that, and I'm there, and I wanted to paint.
Man, this is so great. I'm saving $75.
Oh, is it $200 a repair?
$200.
And the bike only cost me $125. That was the issue. So I'm at Lowe's, and I'm like, hey, Allie, my sister, I'm like, hey, do you have this paint that I lent you? And she goes, oh yeah, I'll bring it. I said, okay, I'll come pick it up. And she goes, no, I'll bring it over. I'm walking the dog. So I was like, great. So I'm driving home from Lowe's, I'm working on the bike, slicing McGee. I run into the kitchen, and the first thing I'm doing is I'm like completely just unaware of what's going on. And I just think, okay, like, where do I go? And a lot happened at the time, but and by the time I get to my phone and call my mom, because she works at Kaiser, I'm like, she'll know where I should go. Before it even like rings once, the doorbell rings, my sister's there. I'm like, this is amazing, because like I was about to drive myself somewhere, which was stupid. Yeah. And that was just shock thinking. And
that's deep internalized. I'm gonna save some pennies thinking from Michael.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna get an ambulance, that's for sure. And so she,
oh my god, that's
the timing was crazy. First of all, then my mom's like, don't go to Dublin, which is the new facility with an ER. Well, it's urgent care. She goes, they're not going to accept you. Go all the way to Walnut Creek. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
I'm like, are you kidding me? And so we get the finger, we get a bowl, go to Walnut Creek. And sure enough, I asked the guys that I'm there, I'm like, hey, was there somewhere closer to go? And they said, if you had gone to Dublin, they would have gotten you an ambulance and taken you to Walnut Creek. So It was the right call. It's just crazy to think that was the closest.
That's because they don't have an ER. They just have urgent care.
They're working on an ER, but so it all has to do with like the type of injury. So like if it's medicinal, they can treat you at urgent care. If it's general, like non-surgical stuff, they usually can treat you at urgent care. This had to have an orthopedic surgeon. Mm-hmm. So like they have no one on call at Dublin. Like there's no orthopedic surgery department that's not scheduled.
How fucked up is that to create a whole new big hospital? It's called a hospital. There's no ER.
Yeah. So, but
that's insane, dude.
I mean, I could have gone to an ER that's not Kaiser.
But
which I don't know. I still wouldn't have known where to go. So
I don't know. Maybe John Muir. I don't really know.
John Muir is all the way out in Walnut Creek.
That's all in Walnut Creek too.
So yeah. Anyway, it's been great. The doctor got to me within like 20 minutes, or the surgeon. Everyone was super nice. Yeah, it was good. But
yeah, you got a new guy to add to your Christmas card collection.
yeah, I already sent him a card actually. I sent a thank you card.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Did he get a Valentine? He got a Valentine's too,
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sure.
But I totally get. I mean, I'm not actually like, obviously, me saying like I actually like love this doctor. I couldn't be happier with like how he treated me, and I totally get when people are like, "Oh, you have that hero syndrome or whatever," because like to me, he's like the best person I possibly could have seen, and I'm sure that's not the truth, but
the guy,
that's actually how it feels,
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so just going back, so what I found out, which I don't know why I think this is so cool. There's primary, secondary, and then tertiary or whatever 3 is.
Yeah.
Intention.
Tertiary.
Like a gouge here that they can't stitch or in your knee or something, and they actually have to like spray stem cell or put fish scale over the wound, and it might not ever come back. And if it doesn't, you have to graft skin from somewhere else. It's crazy. Or get a
So it's like burn victims.
Yes. Burn victims are a little different because you're not. Yes, burn victim if it's gone, not if it's like permanent burn, but if it's like secondary burn or whatever it's called, that would be like just permanently scarred. But if it's a burn where the skin's gone, then yes, that would be like a tertiary, whatever it's called, intention. So anyway, I've become a whatever the word is, but I've become a
tertiary.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. So anyway,
I don't know now. Wait, what's third degree?
Third
burns
degree,
are degrees.
Yes, degree. So that would be require. But yeah, the whole stem cell thing was it. So many people have asked me about stem cells. Like that's never even been discussed because the fingers and toes apparently are like lizard's tail. They just like grow back skin. That's not most places. So kind of interesting.
Crazy.
Like nose wouldn't do that. That's why people with skin cancer commonly, the nose is the first. They usually have like skin grafts and it's a different color. So anyway,
that's something I got to be careful of.
Yeah.
Super.
We all do.
Dude.
Yeah. Blue eyes.
Yeah. Blue eyes. Pale. Highly susceptible. So I've got 4 or 5 sunscreens in my closet. Full.
I have 4 or 5 sunscreens. The only difference is they're probably from 2010 because I don't use
Nicole's like, I literally buy a new sunscreen almost every time I'm in Trader Joe's just to have it on hand. Nicole's like, we need this. We need to start triaging these sunscreens. You don't need that many sunscreens, dude. I'm like, I kind of need a lot.
Yeah. So, dude, tell me enough about that. Tell me.
No. We have a lot more to discuss on finger stuff, dude. So I guess, well, my first question that's kind of been answered by just you talking about this process, because what was the date that it when the slice?
It's been 4 weeks. 4 weeks from Thursday.
4 weeks. Wow.
Tomorrow. 4 weeks tomorrow.
So how much do you think it's going to affect your life?
Not much.
Pretty much nothing.
I mean, I've already moved on, and like I like at this point, I'm doing everything for the most part that I was able to do. The only thing that's got to
be hard.
The main thing I'm worried about is throwing stuff because I'm right-handed, throwing stuff, and that's the index finger is used for baseball, football. It's the last thing that rolls off of football, last thing that rolls off middle finger is the last thing that rolls off of baseball and a football. But
you'll figure that out. Like, do you feel like I have no idea. I'm speaking complete bullshit, but I'm like, you'll figure that out. Like that'll be fine.
I don't know about baseball. I'll figure it out. I don't know that I'll ever get to what I like comfortable because like you're talking like my entire life I've played baseball, for instance.
Yeah.
And, like I'm not gonna be able to throw. Like I already think it's hard to throw perfectly. Just you're always working on your throws.
Yeah.
So that I'm always going to be behind the curve. But like in terms of working it out, yeah, like I'm already writing without this finger. And eventually the goal is that I use my finger again to almost the full extent. But yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
because so the whole finger, it's gonna be skin is gonna grow.
Skin will grow. Imagine just look at your index finger and then like put your thumb over the whole nail of your index finger, and
Yeah.
that's what I have. That's what it
Yeah.
will look like eventually. So like I'm calling it half an inch at the end of the day.
And skin will grow over it.
Not over it, but in place of where the cut was. It's not going to
What do you
grow
mean by
back.
over it?
It's not going to grow back the full length.
Oh no, of course not.
Yeah.
No. But it'll grow. The skin will cover the wound completely.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, then I turn into I'm not going to say the word again. The third,
A tertiary victim.
Tertiary, yeah. Tertiary. But my ego's any more damaged from this than my finger. Yeah, tertiary. There you go. I will turn into that. A tertiary amputee is what I'll be referred to as, and then they'll have to figure out if I'm going to amputate or skin graft. But I mean, the whole thing about this being a scab means just like a normal scab that something's growing underneath.
That's
like
good.
there's no reason to think that it's not growing underneath. And like it's gross, but skin's already starting to fall off. Like even normal skin has like hardened just from everything it's gone through,
the trauma,
bandages, soaking in bacterial soap, all sorts of stuff. So like that skin's already falling off and exposing new skin, and you just have to assume that like it's happening where you can't see. And I think it is. I mean, there's nothing. I would be bleeding still if it wasn't. Something's happening there to stop the bleeding. It's just how long will it take? Who knows? I thought when the doctor, right when he finished, he sewed me up. He goes, I said, so what? Are we looking at like 9 months, 12 months till everything looks normal? And he's like, no, you're looking at like a month of like not being able to do anything, another month of it looking like this, and then you're going to be fine. And so I'm like, and then he goes, rehab. So like sensitivity is very interesting. I've already been doing rehab on this. So this was very sensitive. All this part of my finger was very sensitive. It was very stiff. I just got to 100 degrees on this. So if you look at your finger, you're supposed to do 100 degrees on this first knuckle. I was only doing like 45 because I was wrapped up for so long. This hurt like a mother to do.
It literally just wouldn't bend.
It wouldn't bend. It was just when you swell up, your finger takes this normal position. So I was taking ibuprofen, getting it to reduce swelling, and now I can bend it on my own down to almost 110 or almost 100, and I'm trying to get to 110. Then this guy is like at a 40-degree bend, which is good at this point. And then my lower knuckle is at
the knuckle, the last little knuckle.
The last one is at a 40-degree bend.
Wow.
And you can kind of see that's.
Oh yeah, let's go, baby.
Yeah. So. And it looks really bad, right? It looks like all shriveled up. And I've just had this on for too long.
Looks like a little gross, decomposing worm. That's what it kind of looks like.
The sensitivity. So like that's the movement, and then the sensitivity right up here. I haven't been able to really touch it too much. Yeah. And so it literally feels like just my skin feels like sandpaper right now. So sensitive. It literally feels like sandpaper is running against it. It's crazy. Just touching it.
Oh, when you touch when you touch your finger,
yes,
not the finger, you don't feel like sandpaper. It feels like skin. The finger itself upon the touch feels like you're rubbing sandpaper on it. This
finger sensitivity, like what it's feeling, like just this right here.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like a knife right now. Like, it feels like I'm cutting my skin. Just
really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it hurts. Like you're in pain right now.
No, like literally my therapy is look at your finger and touch it just like this until you get used to it, and tapping it on the I'm not allowed to do that yet because because of infection, but touching it
Okay.
and stuff. Yeah.
Oh
pretty
my
wild.
God.
But it's
And
just
you just touch it and you're just like, you're training your brain.
yeah, you're trying to break like this is normal. It's okay.
This is
And my
normal.
doctor said, if you were to wrap up your finger for a month and not touch it, and then you unwrapped it, you would feel the exact same thing. Your body just like
Interesting.
not used to it. It forgets what it's meant to feel like. And then you start
Wow.
touching it and it's like, what the heck, you know? So
Wow.
it's yeah, it's definitely very interesting stuff. The bodies are just a very interesting thing, nerves and all. Like what was crazy was the first 2 weeks, I would wake up in the middle of the night and it felt like I got my finger chopped off again. It was like phantom pain. It was just, and I'm so fortunate. I thought it was going to keep on happening. And at some point it just stopped, but it literally, I would wake up and it was like,
Oh,
I'm like, oh my God. Am I like, it was like, it happened all over again. And then it would go away like in 10 minutes. Nothing happened.
oh God.
Crazy. Yeah. Crazy.
Would you just get up, watch TV, or just get up, breathe?
No,
You
I
couldn't
would
even
just,
think.
I would just sit there. I wouldn't do anything. I would just sit there and just like,
Just lie there.
when I got used to, I just, yeah. And I don't know. I mean, you just knew, like, after I knew what it was, then it was not a big deal. The first time I freaked out, I turned the lights on. I'm like, oh my God, like, am I bleeding? And I'm trying to figure it out. But at the beginning, you couldn't unwrap it like this. Like, I had to keep it wrapped. So like, it's like, you can only do so much. It's like, I don't know if something happened. And so like, I would like, this would have been the last part of the bandage, but you would have white gauze and then you would have a nonstick bandage. And so I couldn't take off the gauze and the bandage. I just had to like look to see, okay, is it bleeding through? No. Okay. I should be okay. So
dude,
yeah.
that's so gnarly.
And I remember in like elementary school learning about phantom pain with wounded warriors and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, you know,
Pussies.
well, no, I didn't think
No,
that. I was
no,
just like you're like, oh,
that's
damn,
horrible.
that sucks.
Take that
Like,
all back.
yeah, but no, you're like that sucks. Like, and then you're thinking like, oh,
Yeah.
they just have to take
Seems
pain
like-
meds and stuff.
Yeah.
I was on freaking hydrocodone, right? Like you and I talked about that, and it was still like I couldn't go to sleep. Like it was like this pain that was just like I chopped off my finger again.
Wow.
And then and then that now I don't even take anything. I don't take Tylenol. I don't take anything. It's just crazy how like one day it was just done. But I can't imagine having phantom pain like long term.
That sounds awful.
So,
Plus, you, especially in the early days, for you, not knowing exactly what was going on, it's like the first couple times you're like, because you can't see it, you can't like just visually see it. You just have this pain.
That's like worse. Just not knowing if it's No, once you know it's normal, it's like okay.
Yeah.
You just have to get through it, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
yeah, dude, the not knowing, we don't like that as human beings.
No.
We don't like that one bit.
Yeah, that's why I met with my doctor last Thursday. That was up until then, it was all uncertain, like what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And that was like worse than the pain to a degree. And I was very optimistic the whole time. And like, no one would have known that I talked to that I was concerned, but like, you know, I internalized all that and I'm like, what if I have to amputate like all my finger? Like, I don't know. Like, what if you hear crazy things, you know?
Sure.
And so yeah, uncertainty is scary for sure.
Oh my God.
It's kind of, I mean, it's human psychology right there.
Dang. So yeah, if you had to then amputate past the knuckle, then what? How much does your life change there?
I think a lot more. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like there's a lot that your middle finger can do. I don't know. More for sure. It would change. I'm just trying to think. Like handshakes are gonna be pretty. Hey Nicole. Oh, she here.
Michael says hi. She says hi. Oh, she can hear. You can hear her. You
hello.
can't. Yeah, it's doing good.
Hello.
We're just talking. We're talking through it.
It looks like the end of ET's.
It's a burnt hot dog.
Yeah, dude. It does look like the end of ET's finger.
Oh, end of ET. I needed to put a little light bulb on the end.
Go away.
What'd you say?
My dad's grandpa. So what does that
Yeah.
make him? My great great grandpa.
Here, can you hear if you put this in your right ear?
Can
Yeah.
I hear? Yeah,
Can you hear Michael?
Okay, my
Yeah.
dad's
Here,
grandpa.
little guest appearance from Nicole. Here,
What's
here,
up?
sit here. Make sure you're talking to the mic.
Oh,
Nice.
like this. Hello, testing, testing.
Make sure Miguel can hear you.
Hi,
Shout out
Miguel.
loyal listener Miguel.
Just woke
Top
up
1%
from.
of listeners.
Oh, I
Wow.
believe that. Miguel's
just
a
woke up.
loyal fan.
From a
Yeah.
nap, but I came here to say my dad's grandpa, which makes him my great great grandpa, had such bad neuropathy in his fingers from like diabetes.
What's neuropathy?
It's like a nerve pain, like the sensation of pins and needles, and then
Yeah.
like eventually you lose sensation.
Mhm.
So when you get it in your feet, you like fall down. When you get it in your fingers, you can't grasp stuff. But it was so bad, he would just pack his pipe and just with the finger.
God.
I imagine it looked like that. I
To
never
stop
met
feeling
him.
something.
No, just to pack his pipe, which normally you would do with like a tool.
Because he
Well,
couldn't.
that's-
But he couldn't
feel
fucking
shit.
feel. So he'd just be like, la la la.
Oh,
Oh, so he wasn't feeling. He was feeling pins and needles, or he just couldn't feel.
He
anything?
couldn't feel anything anymore. So then
Oh my god.
he would kind of, that's how
Well,
I
that's
picture it in my
disgusting.
brain.
well,
That's
what
gnarly.
happened was I was lighting. It didn't look this bad. I was lighting a cigar, and I just didn't realize. And I just
Wait, is that real? That's actually true?
No,
Oh.
that's just
it definitely looks very black though. But
See,
he,
like,
he
it
just
looks
found out that he
red.
doesn't.
That looks red. It's not red. It's on my finger. It's tan, and it looks red
Interesting.
on the screen.
Yeah.
See, that's what I tell people about my skin. Like I think that I look tan.
Trouble. Okay, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Here you go.
Thanks, baby. Oh, good times.
Great times.
Yeah, dude. I hope that doesn't happen to you. That sounds that'd
Well, no,
be insane.
I think
Because you're gonna still have feeling, right? Or
Yeah,
you
I
think
should
you
have-
might not have that much
well,
feeling.
okay, so I'll definitely have feeling to a degree. What's weird is that since the scab, this is all hard, so I don't really know if I can feel it yet.
Mhm.
But like when I'm running, like I was running yesterday,
Oh yeah, you can definitely feel that.
you feel like a rattle.
Oh.
Like the only thing I can equate it to is when you try to like walk on completely asleep feet, like not the pins and needle part, but like completely asleep feet. where
Yeah.
it literally you just feel like the bone rattling, kind of like you
What
don't
bone?
actually, like it doesn't hurt yet. Like I hate my stuff falling asleep, but like it's when it's not yet getting feeling back, but it's still completely numb and you can feel that rattle. That's what this feels like
Yeah.
when I'm like running. Like you can feel it just like.
Oh.
So like I don't know. Does that mean I'm not gonna have feeling? I have no idea. But it'll definitely be reduced feeling because there's not as much tissue there as there used to be, and who knows how the skin grows. But I'll have most feeling because the bone is what drives the nerves, and the tissue surrounds the bone, and the tissue has the nerves in it, and so we'll see.
Wow. Is that what did the doctor say?
He has no. I mean, it just
They're like, fuck.
we'll see.
We'll see how it grows.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I guess
There's
they didn't
no-
even know if they were gonna amputate until Thursday. So
yeah.
that's
I mean,
crazy.
More was cut off. Like if you add up what was cut off versus what I'm going to have left over, it equates to more than my finger was.
Say it
because
one more time.
If
Sorry.
you add what was cut off to
Yeah.
what my finger is going to be,
Oh.
it is longer than the sum together.
Yeah.
Because the way we kept it, the skin, it's going to grow outward from there. So that's all non-tissue growth, and the tissue is what drives the blood circulation. It's what drives the nerves. And so if you don't have like if the tissue isn't a part of that as much, it's going to not have as much feeling. So we'll see. I mean, it could. I don't even know. I think tissue grows. So tissue should grow back around the bone. I'm pretty sure that happens.
Yeah.
But they have no idea. It's just a
Interesting.
waiting game.
can you work it out? Like get muscle tissue in there?
Yeah, I mean, the tendon's
I don't know.
intact, right? That's what's making me move it. There's not really as much muscle in your finger. I mean, there is, but
Yes, you
it's more
can.
the tendon. And the
Mhm.
tendon, I mean, the tendon's obviously doing great. I mean, I can feel it, so that's good. Yeah, I don't know. At this point,
Oh,
they're
dude.
just happy it's not infected. Like that's the only thing we cared about
Yeah.
up until Thursday was infection, and then I started my physical therapy. And the physical therapy is all about desensitization and getting the bending. And then when this falls off, it'll be desensitizing. Hopefully, I'll be desensitizing the top of my finger. So anyway,
Yeah. That sounds intense, dude. That sounds very intense.
It's really like it is like so not that as big of a deal as it sounds. I know, like
I don't know, dude. Just the pain of, I feel like especially once you start getting that top of the finger, like desensitizing that sounds like a really difficult process.
Yeah, I mean it's not easy, but it's like in terms of like feasibility, like when you think about like if I had thought about losing part of my finger, I think I would have made it worse in my head than what happened. And maybe it's because I'm looking retrospectively and I'm like, okay, I got through that. And now I'm like, in retrospect, I got through that. I'm okay. But like, I think that when I talk to people and I realize their reactions, I'm like, okay, it's not as crazy. Like, it's not as difficult to get through that. And like, you're asking, has your life changed? No, I mean, I went back and I freaking fixed the bike 2 days later. Like,
no, you didn't.
I did. I conquered the bike.
Like, let's go, baby. You got right back on the saddle.
Like everything. Yeah, everything you figure out how to deal with it.
That is so funny, dude.
Yeah. So, except golf, I'm still that was a lost cause to begin with, so I'll figure it out.
I think you'll be better than you were before.
Well, yeah, that's what everyone keeps saying. That just means that there's me shooting a 90, which would be good in my head, is going to be actually worse than what people expect. So
yeah.
Okay, enough of my freaking finger.
All right, I can talk about the finger all day.
When am I going to see some improv, dude? When am I going to see some stand-up comedy?
We had a great improv show, Valentine's Day improv show.
Oh,
it was so fun. It was, yeah, dude, really fun. Had put together a show in San Diego.
You put it together.
Yeah, I put it together.
You put together an improv.
I was like the leader.
Were you the MC?
No, we kind of delegated it. We kind of went, we kind of all shared responsibilities. Actually, I took more of a backseat on that, which was fun. And yeah, everyone who's in the troupe is like awesome. They're so great. And there's 7 of us, and we got like 30 people in the audience, which was so fun, dude. I mean, obviously, everyone was like, friends. Day. Yeah, on Valentine, after the Super Bowl.
Wow.
May I add. 8 p.m. post Super Bowl.
Nice.
Amazing turnout, dude. It was great. And
more than that.
Yeah, you really can.
So is this like a Second City style?
Kind of. What did we do? No. So I've never been to a Second City performance. I'd really like to, but as I understand Second City, a lot of their shows have like sketches in them, and it's like very well rehearsed. And there's some beats that are like improvised, but a lot of it's like not very improvised. And then they have kind of
very structured, and then it's like ad lib almost.
A little bit, yeah. So this was 100% improvised. We had the first half hour was like short form, so it had a little bit of structure where we had, for instance, we did this game called good advice, bad advice, worse advice. And so the audience would ask questions, kind of like, like what, like how should I get my hair cut or whatever. And then the person who was giving good advice, like she'd come up with a little character. Like the character she came up with was she was like a babysitter and like didn't really know anything, but kind of, like a straight A student, like babysitter, and like I know about stuff, and she'd give like the good advice. And then the bad advice was like this Lucy, she's so fucking funny. She was like this Minnesota housewife who just gave like horrible advice. Like she was like, how to get your oil changed. Like, well, you guys got to walk in. Like they don't take you seriously as a woman. So you just got to walk in the mechanic and then point a gun in their face and say, like, I don't know. Like, yeah, she's just so fucking funny. And that was a horrible Minnesota accent. And then the character I picked was I was Clark from prison. And it was really fun, dude. It was a bunch of fun. So yeah, we had short form little games in the beginning and then long form. So long form's like you start with a suggestion and then you do scenes and adjacent scenes and there's kind of cuts and sweeps and stuff. Yeah, it was fun, dude. I'm gonna have to have you come down for a show.
Is long form? Oh, dude, I would love that. Yeah. Is long form similar to I mean, this is really long form, but what's that Netflix?
Yeah, absolutely. Middleditch and Schwartz.
Yes, Middleditch and Schwartz. Yeah. God, that stuff is so funny.
So good, dude.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
And the way they play so many different characters as so two people.
And the memory that they have to, and they'll bring it back at the end. Yeah. I enjoyed that so much.
Yeah. It's so fun.
3 episodes, but no, that'd be sick. That'd be sick to come watch.
That's the dream, to be able to do different stuff like that. It was
tough. Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool to have kind of a bigger group. And obviously doing different shows. I don't know, you get to know people. So we've been practicing together for a while. So we've got really good chemistry. But yeah, we're gonna start doing monthly shows. And maybe more. But yeah, with that group. And then I have another group I've been doing some stuff with, which is fun. We're waiting for this one like comedy club to open up. But the guy who's been kind of teaching us has a really good connection with them. So we'll have kind of a standing show there too, which will be cool.
Nice.
Maybe a couple. So that'd be sweet.
What's your weight right now between improv and the time you spend on improv versus stand-up
stuff? More improv. Stand-up has been, well, one, I hate staying up late. Okay. And so that's difficult. That's tough to do.
Because you said you can only get on until like after 2 or something, or 1 o'clock.
Sometimes it's so late, dude. Yeah. If you do Wednesday through Saturday, it's late. It's past midnight. And you're just performing to like other, comics who are just waiting to go up there too. There's like 5 people. So I'm trying to, I haven't been, I did one last week, but I'm trying to do like 1, maybe 2 a week-ish, but I have not been doing that much stand-up.
I'm assuming that stand-up takes more like prep time. Like when you talk about breakdown, you're spending more time prepping that, whereas the improv is more just doing. Is that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's a lot, like there's different practice, which is fun to do in improv. And like literally practice I can do at home, which is cool. But yeah, I've been trying to definitely more time like writing some stand-up stuff. Yeah, which is fun and demoralizing and there's like it's tough. There's definitely trying to figure all that out.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
like obviously, okay, so I feel like you could write like improv is kind of like I'm going to be biased, but like, I could see how improv, even if you didn't have a crowd, it can be fun because you're doing it with other people.
For sure.
And it's just like fun to do like that. It can be practice if it's fun. I can see how like doing your stand-up to 5 people, it could be the best material and they might not laugh because it's 5 people. So I could see how that could be really tough. Like,
yeah, I have the best material, and right now we just don't even know if it's. I'm positive it's funny. They just don't get it, dude. They just don't understand.
No, but I mean,
they don't understand my genius and how funny.
I could see there being like a lot of jokes that go over my head, but when I get cues of laughter from other people, I think back on it and I'm like, oh shoot, that was funny, and I could see that happening. Like that's tough to resonate with 5 people versus a crowd of at least 30. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm
sure. Yeah, I think stand-up's definitely weird, and you kind of have to have an audience. You have to have an audience to see what kind of stuff you have. You can tell definitely if something is reasonably funny or not funny at all. So that's good. You have a little bit of a direction. I'm trying to figure out like how
to tell a joke.
Well, yeah, how to fucking write a joke. Hard. Hella hard. Especially when you're not very funny. And like a lot of I don't know, what I like and want to do a little more of is learning like how to connect with people. Because you're talking to people when you're telling the joke. So it's like this balance of like, it's an act. So part of it almost could be performed, like, I mean, hypothetically, could be just performed without any give and take feedback, like a theater performance, you just do it regardless of what, like you could do it with no one in the audience. It would be
it's the horror
shitty.
Fourth wall. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so. The fourth wall.
Yeah,
breaking the fourth wall.
Whether you break it
breaking
or not,
the third wall. The fourth wall.
I think it's fourth because I think you have.
I think it's the fourth.
Walls.
I think it's the fourth. Yeah.
It should be called the window. It should be called breaking the window.
Rock through the window.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you know that big comedian that takes his shirt off and he talks about Russian, his trip to Russia, and
getting alive
drink. Yeah. He's like 40 years old.
No, I don't know.
To me, that's exactly what you're talking about. Is like he talks to you like he's telling a story on a bar. Like he's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course I'm gonna do. Like he's having a conversation as if you just talk back to him. Whereas I think like Steve Martin, which I love, I don't really know if he interacts. Like I think he's up there performing. He's like,
that's a good point. I mean, he certainly is. I mean, yeah, he got his act to be. That's really interesting. Yeah, he got his act to be where he'd be performing in stadiums where you absolutely cannot have a direct relationship, interaction at all.
Yeah.
And not every comedian does that. Like Kevin Hart was kind of the only other person who kind of did that. Trevor Noah performs in some big old fucking stadiums. I don't know, but he's pretty good about. I mean, at the end of the day, though, what's interesting to remember that I kind of forget sometimes is you are talking to people. Like that sounds so stupid and rudimentary, but you're literally talking to people and you want to make them laugh.
Yeah.
Or you at least connect in some way. And so, I went up last Sunday and my material was shit, absolute dog shit. I like went up, had like some things I was going to say and just kind of slammed it on the fucking table. I was like, "What's up, guys? Like, let's chat." And kind of vaguely went through some material, but a lot, like there was maybe 10 people there. A lot of people laughed just because I was having a good time like with them, and we were talking, and like a joke was just completely going over their heads.
Yeah, but you can.
But then I was like, oh, like, what do you guys not? I was talking about like skiing, or like, you guys ever skied? And they're like, no, I've never skied. And like, then we kind of started, I don't know, talking about that side, whatever. But that was the first time I really felt comfortable enough to like kind of do that. Before I was kind of just terrified, and just you're just talking and you're just so inside yourself.
Yeah.
As opposed to like being like, hey, oh, hey, you're right there.
Presentation versus conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if I don't even know if I'd give myself the honor of calling whatever happened up there presentation.
Well, I think
more sheer terror is a better description.
I mean, I think of like John Murphy, right?
Yeah.
He goes, he never once did a presentation that he prepared for, right? He would go up and he would read the room, and I was kind of okay at it, but John was really good of like the zero effort, goes up, can read the room, say things without stumbling, but he is completely like on the fly, making it happen based on what, how he's reading.
Incredible.
Versus
his best man speech was all
there
time.
You go, unrehearsed, right?
Incredible.
Versus you have like the typical Yale, Harvard, like every single word has been planned to a T, lawyer delivery, and you can't miss a single beat. Like there's room for both, I feel like, with stand-up. But that's where I get presentation versus conversation of like, do you have those key points that you want to talk about? And then based on laughter, based on this little cue from this person, you're going to switch it up. Like, you think that was funny? What are you talking about? Like you're white, you can't laugh at that, whatever it is, like, or there's no way you ski, whatever, and like you interact versus like, maybe you just have freaking gold and you're just like, this is what I'm going to say. And I just need to work on delivery. I don't know enough about it, but I could see you doing, with your improbability, like being able to interact once you know like what you're trying to deliver. So
I think if I'm it's certainly not that fun for me not to connect, or at least try to like talk to people and have it be like this theatrical performance, like that's not really what I like. I do like people who do, like John Mulaney is very, like, like,
there you go. Yeah.
That guy, very theatrical.
He's taking on a persona every time
Yeah. Whereas, and everyone kind of takes on a little bit of a persona, but I think that's what I don't know.
Yeah, but his persona has to equate to what he's going to say jokes for. Like you're
right.
He can't really change up his skit. It has to be about like scrawny 30-year-old looks like he's 15, very innocent, but does things that surprise you.
Is an addict.
Yeah. Like you really don't have a lot to go on, like stray from that. When you're going that specific on your jokes, maybe, it works for him, right? But like, I don't know if everyone's like that. It works for him really well. I just don't know. Like, I think that you can take on whatever you want to take on. Like, I could see you being like the freaking Michael Lewis of comedy. Like, I love Michael Lewis. But the
stock derivatives people.
Yeah. So like the investment banker turned writer because he freaking can't stand how silly the financial world is, and that's basically what Michael Lewis did. He's like, he knows everything inside and out about the finance world, and then he just talks about how ridiculous it is. And I can totally see you doing that because people think that the finance world is stupid, and then you could just take it and just be like, Obviously, I'm a financial banker.
Yeah, I'd have to know a lot more than I do about finance.
You know 99% more than every single person that's gonna be in the room. So no, you don't.
Yeah.
You were literally writing satirical essays about the business world. Like, you know, plenty.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
Dude, that dude who does the emails is so good. For Bloomberg, Matt Levine.
Levine, did he come from the Wall Street Journal? I remember that name.
Maybe. I mean, he's very famous in kind of the
maybe I just read his
financial circles.
Okay.
I've definitely forwarded you emails from him. He is hilarious. Like,
from Bloomberg?
Yeah, Bloomberg. He's just employed by Bloomberg. He puts out a daily email. The amount of content this dude churns out is absurd. And it's so funny. He's got such a good voice. He's very much like, he just knows everything inside and out, and then presents it in such a fun, like, digestible way. Yeah, just so good. So good. He'll be like, yeah, so investment bankers, they make money by, they call up their friends and they're like, hey, so you guys want to do a little merger? And they're like, yeah, sure. Like, maybe this one, or like, no, not today. And they're like, okay, like, that's fine. And then like the next day, like, something happens. And because they played golf, like, they'll do a merger, and then then they get a fee, and then bankers are happy when they get fees, and like they make their money, but like they're not very happy when like 15-year-olds like invested in Cumcoin and make triple their salary. Like, so like now you have all these unhappy bankers, working for Goldman, and now they're gonna have this, new thing or whatever. We already talked about this. It's funny how he always comes up when we're talking. Remember when Jamie Dimon got a raise? He got a little 30 million. He got like a little $30 million bonus. Or
satirical.
Like yeah. He's just like, oh, that's, well, he's a billionaire. So, like, it's just a way to show their appreciation, like, oh, 30 million, like, that's nice. And then he probably went on his day. And you're just like, oh my God, that's insane, but so true.
Oh God. Yeah.
Anyway, dude, yeah, he's so funny.
It's so funny. I think about that of like I shouldn't be saying this. Just like executives, they don't know when they get paid. I think it's the funniest thing in the world. Executives don't know when they get paid. And they also don't know what their account balance is supposed to be. And I just know this from history of executive people that are top of their company. And it's pretty wild. The more money you have, obviously, it doesn't matter. Like,
just like, I have enough. Like, I've got plenty.
Yeah. And like, you think like the conventional wisdom says the more you like care, like the more money you make, the more you care about money and the more it drives your life. I don't think it's true. I think that like from a macro perspective, it does, like, it drives your life on making macro decisions, but like day-to-day life, people that make a lot of money, they just like, they have no sense of a dollar's value, in my opinion. They know what $1 million means. They don't know what,
like how much, they don't know how much things cost and stuff too.
Just in general, they're very,
I've definitely heard that.
And just going off the Jamie Dimon thing of like, I bet he didn't know that the day that bonus hit his account, or I bet, like he went on his day, like he probably passed the same homeless person and didn't change like his perspective of the situation one day.
Yeah, definitely.
Like what 1% of his bonus would have been more than that a homeless person made in the entire year, often, of just his bonus, or more in his entire life, 1% of that bonus. And it didn't probably change a single thing, which is really crazy. Percentages are really a mind-boggling thing because they're pretty crappy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I mean, yeah, when you see like, I mean, it's why Bernie Sanders is like tweeting, you know, it's like Jeff Bezos made $20 billion like this month. Like how you, he's like, what up, dude? Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. How are you feeling with everyone feels a little worried these days, a little bit more worried. There's a little more worry in the air. There's still a really strong job market, so things aren't that
Worried about the stock market?
No, just like, I mean, in my own life, I'm just like, damn, gas is so fucking expensive. Like,
Yeah.
I'm blowing through my gas budget. I'm gonna have to up that. Then you know, just inflation and whatnot. Like, I work all these coffee shops, you know, they're all like, we had to raise prices, and they're like, dang, I'm gonna have to raise prices, you know, to my customers.
Yeah.
Not fun. Not fun.
I watched Charlie Munger today for 4 hours at the Daily Journal meeting that I usually go to in person. And he said something.
Wait, you've been there in person?
Yeah,
that's Daily Journal. It's in
Daily
LA.
Journal, yeah, 2017 through 2020. It was February. It was right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Wow. I've been there. I've met him. Met Peter Kaufman, who just resigned.
That's so
He's
cool.
the best CEO of any company ever. He said something on Yahoo Finance today before the Daily Journal meeting. He said his mentality of any investor right now should be that the US currency doesn't exist in 100 years. Which I was like, he doesn't say stuff. He doesn't say a lot of stuff that's
off the cuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, he says the same stuff year over year. Like, he says the same stuff about oil drilling. Like, he's always said that the US shouldn't export oil. Like, if you own precious resources, you should never get rid of it. Like, you should hold on to it. He's always said same stuff about global warming, about this and that. That was like a new thing he said, and he doesn't say stuff without like really thinking it through. And he started talking about inflation, and he goes, you know, we like looking at COVID, and we threw a lot of freaking money out. We helicoptered money, and like what people don't realize is like people did really well the last 2 years. People did really well, and the people who didn't do well, like a lot of people took money and took advantage of the system and like didn't benefit. Like, they didn't take the money that was given to them and like force themselves to go work and improve their quality of life, which tends to be the lower middle class as well. But then the upper middle class took every dime that they could, and they probably made more money, right? And he was basically talking about this huge gap that was forming, that has already been forming with populism and stuff. And then how like our mentality about government has really changed over like 3 decades, 4 decades of like the people who are going to give us money are who's best. So for Trump, it was taxes being reduced, which is a form of helicopter money. You're making a dollar earned more valuable, or actually less valuable, but you're nominally you're keeping more money. And then he talked about like liberals, they helicopter money, like they pump money into lower income people and literally give away handouts. And like that's how we've elected people. Like the last really 4 or 5 presidencies have been based on what the president is going to do positively for people rather than positively for the country. And he talked about the Roman Empire and how the Roman Empire like was doing inflation for like 200 straight years, and they were the best democracy ever. And then they overinflated and became worthless, and that's their demise was basically monetary power. And he would just like start talking about all this stuff about inflation and how we like expect inflation now. We're like immune to the idea of it, and it's like really crazy. Like inflation happened not because of supply chain issues. It didn't happen because of the microchips and the Canadian border and the shipping stoppage didn't really happen because of COVID itself and people not working. It happened because we threw so much freaking money at the problem. And now people expect that to continue to an extent. And people took without putting back into the system, which is the only time it makes sense to pump money in. And so yeah, it's a concern. I like freaked out today about, and I need to think about it more. Like Ray Dalio has been freaking out about it. I just haven't heard Charlie Munger freak out about it. Like Ray Dalio freaked out about, who's the other guy? Not Jordan Peterson. Who's the guy who writes about nations rise and fall? Naveed Harari. Harari, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't have no idea.
The rise and fall of nations. Naveed Harari.
Who are you looking at?
Homo Deus. Yuval Noah Harari. Yuval Harari. He also he writes the Homo Deus about the human existence, but he also talks about the rise and fall of nations. And dude, these guys have been talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, but like they're very.
Wait, what's this? I'm seeing the Rise and Fall of Nations by Rashir Sharma.
Oh, okay, maybe it is him. Let me pull it up. Rise and Fall of Nations. But okay, so that's a different book that talks about it as well.
Okay.
Ray Dalio, that's a different one. Why Nations Fail. Is that it? The Rise and Fall. Yes. Okay. Richard Sharma, that is correct. He wrote that book. And then this guy who wrote Homo Deus, Yuval Harari, he has a different book, not Homo Deus. I have it on Kindle, but it's about the how like our humanity, sapiens.
Oh, Sapiens.
Right. And he talks about the Roman Empire in there and how, oh no, it's this one. It's Homo Deus, not Sapiens. Homo Deus, he talks about the rise and fall of power, like literally right here. Yeah, his whole chapter is the fall of the Roman Empire. And it's just crazy. Like these guys have historically talked about it. Ray Dalio talks about it all the time. Like Ray Dalio has been talking about it for over 3 years about these cycles.
I'm gonna go see if my cat is at the door. Keep going.
No, but these cycles, they continue to perpetuate. And then at some point, these bumps turn, at some point it goes like a huge one. That's Ray Dalio's whole thing. And I've always just like listened to it with like a grain of salt. And this was a first. Hearing Charlie Munger say that is just like
I thought it was the CEO, or is just co-signed by Charlie Munger.
No. Hearing Charlie Munger today talk about it.
So he talked about it. It wasn't just.
So okay. So this has always been in the back of my head. Ray Dalio's book, How Nations Rise and Fall. Or not How Nations Rise and Fall. What's Ray Dalio's? Big Debt Crises. Ray Dalio talks about big debt crises. That's his big thing. Has been this is normal in the debt world of like 2008 was one of these, and it just happens. It always happens. Inflation and then recorrection, where money gets distributed back, and he basically says like this is a roller coaster, and then at some point this happens, and it's like a complete fall and changing of the world order. That's he like patented changing of the world order. And he thinks like China's going to be the next world order. But like he's always been saying that. This guy talked about it in Homo Deus about the Roman Empire. And then Charlie today just like talking about how we are going to be like the Roman Empire. We're going to be like Germany. Like he was like Albert Einstein grew up in Germany, one of the best education classes. Like this was the best country, one of the best countries in the world, Germany. And then they overinflated and they went through a Great Depression, and Hitler gets elected because of inflation depleting the lower class and populism rose. And that's literally what's happening. Like populism elected Donald Trump. Like that's 100% Donald Trump is populism. Mm-hmm. What can everyone do for me? I would say Biden is kind of populism. It's like this extreme push. It's just like freaking scary stuff, dude. And hearing them say that the US dollar will probably be gone in 100 years, not like Bitcoin type thing, but like the value is not going to exist like it does today is like pretty steep. So yeah, am I concerned? Yes. Not about the stock market. Stocks are
I'm just concerned. Just stocks.
Yeah, and they will. Like you'll own companies, and they're going to continue to be efficient. They're going to continue to earn money and pay dividends because that's what businesses do. But the dollar is going to be a very interesting thing. Like it's not. I don't know. I don't know enough about the situation to like even go beyond what other people have said about it. It's
it's interesting how that they have to be related, but I guess they're kind of not, because you can kind of, you can't do business in America without the dollar. Maybe you can.
You can. If you think about like trade is trading goods and services for monetary value.
Yeah.
If we trade, Tesla accepts Bitcoin, it isn't tied to the dollar. It is tied to a degree, and there's going to be like a worldwide fall if the US dollar crashes. But if you own a US company, the dollar value of that company might crash, or actually that dollar value would increase because the dollar is worth less. But the actual intrinsic value of the company is not going to change. If you own Disneyland, Disney,
well, it'll still change a little bit if assuming you can, there's no friction in like payment and business.
Well, and you're talking about like what happened in whatever country in Africa, where the dollar was worth equivalent of a US dollar at one point, and now it's like 1,000,000 to 1. I don't know what it's called.
Zimbabwe.
Well, Zimbabwe, yeah, it starts with an M is what I'm thinking of. Anyway, that's what would happen with the US. It's just it would just, if you held a dollar, it'd be hyperinflated. So a dollar is could turn into like the smallest form of it'd be a cent.
Interesting. So a stock isn't a dollar, huh?
No, that's just what it's just how we value it.
This is how we value it, but it really isn't a dollar.
Technically, in a hyperinflation environment, the stock market will continue to go up. The nominal dollar price continues to go up. It's what does that dollar equate to the Japanese yen, or
what's your buying power?
Yeah. So in China, the price of that stock is not going to change.
But what would you buy? What you think people are going to be able to transact with, like a yen or something, or I don't know, a Bitcoin, or
I don't know what would replace it. I don't know. It might not be that anything replaces it. It might literally just be a worthless currency, like not worthless, but like I said, like hyperinflation. Like it could be, if you want a burger, it's going to cost $1,000. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just that's kind of what's being insinuated.
There are some days that I'd pay $1,000 for a burger.
It's just like a really interesting thing to think about, of like politically, like you and I have had a lot of political discussion. Like stop worrying about what the government's going to do for a specific person, like taxes versus helping this specific group, or focus on this agenda of infrastructure, whatever, and really elect like people who are going to make not the face front decision that looks good, but like the intrinsic decision that looks good. Like I believe that the smarter move of pumping money into the economy wouldn't have been handing out money to people who made under a certain amount. It would have been taking everyone who lost employment and finding a way to employ them through what we're trying to push through of build better, right? Like construction, paying healthcare workers more, paying volunteers to do testing, or paying volunteers to literally just transport stuff. People who, like, instead of putting them out of work and paying them for that, repurpose people, which I think is also very valuable. People who can, which is, I think, very valuable for a country and for the person. Like if a person has the ability to do something and get paid for it, it's very valuable intrinsically than sitting at home playing video games. And unfortunately, it's like it's all stereotypes. So like there's people who actually can't work and they need that money, or their job would put them in danger. And then there's also the other side of it who literally take advantage of the system and sit at home and adopt kids just so that they can get food stamps. You know, like there's two sides of the equation, and unfortunately, so it just makes me think about decisions and politics and stuff and how to like correct course. I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's always definitely harder said than done to, especially if you're that perfect. Jesus, having to repurpose your whole life, that'd be wild. I mean, necessary sometimes, but certainly be wild. Yeah. But yeah, definitely interesting to think too. I mean, like it makes you think of just as, you know, what can you do? Like, maybe, you know, you can, in addition to kind of owning stocks or whatnot, you know, also build kind of little businesses, you know.
Yeah.
It's really cool when you have people who like buy, you know, create little coffee shops or, you know, whatnot, and build businesses and employ people. And I mean, that's,
which is, I mean, that's
small
a
business.
great point. Like putting money through the PPP Act was great. Like making sure that people, even when they can't open their restaurants, get access to funding so they can keep them employed.
Totally. But I mean, that didn't happen.
It didn't
that's
happen.
The crazy. Exactly.
Well, I mean, it did, and
it didn't.
People that shouldn't have gotten it got it.
Yeah.
And then people that needed it didn't have enough.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to use it for certain. They weren't allowed to pay employees to just stay on.
Yeah, they were. That was a specific use. Yeah, the only way you got PPP money was specifically there had to be a payroll to get the money back. Like full disclosure, my company went through it and we shouldn't have. We got money, but we had to actually have a payroll to get paid, and we get paid quarterly, which doesn't qualify. You have to get paid at least monthly or less payroll, or more frequent payroll. So we switched to monthly so that we could take advantage of it, because that's specifically what it ran off of, was payroll. And then we gave the money back because we all decided that was morally wrong. But that's specifically how they gave money out, was based on payroll, which is also incorrect.
But I think you had to keep operating.
Yes, you did. You had to consistently keep operating, which
you couldn't.
Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and that's where there was so much downfall. The people who could continue paying on payroll didn't need it, and they got it. And people who couldn't keep doing it or needed to take a break couldn't access the funds. And again, that's like right intent, terrible execution. And that's where I think that sometimes the US is focused on what looks good and sounds good. But like when it comes down to the construct of it and how it plays out, isn't like thought through enough. Like if we're gonna give money out, let's think about how that's going to be handed out.
Yeah, definitely.
To benefit the right people. So
it's hard to be thoughtful, as everyone knows. It's always but not, I guess, just and when you're in a position of power, you owe it to put in that work to actually be thoughtful and think through things,
and just to put the right people there. Like if you're a superior, like if you're a president, you start at the top. Like you need to be able to put the right people below you that are going to put the right people below them, that are going to put the right people below them. And that's like a intangible of like honesty, integrity type principle. And that doesn't exist in politics.
No,
like integrity does not exist in politics. It's all about who you know and lobby groups and
getting stuff, keeping the power.
Yeah, having your son-in-law be a
dude, it's wild. It's would love to know, kind of be on the what people think. I do think sometimes people understand how unethical they're being, but I think more often than not, like they don't understand it. They're just like, oh, it's not that bad, and they rationalize this, and it's fine.
Rationalize,
and this is, oh, this person's pretty good. Like, they're competent. I trust them.
Yeah.
Stupid.
No, I think you're completely right about that. Like,
yeah,
people rationalize it. They know it's bad. They might know it's bad, but they rationalize the extent of it, or like it's a one-off.
Yeah.
Small little thing. White lies, we rationalize.
Totally. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's wild. Yo, let's close. I need to eat dinner. But I wanted to close it. I wanted to this is great. I love this.
Classic politics.
Before the finger incident happened, when was the last time that you were in the passenger seat of a car? Because I don't think I've ever seen you in the passenger seat of a car. I think you've always been driving.
That's a good point. Jessica will drive at times. We'll sometimes.
What's times? What will she drive?
Like mainly, if we're in her car, it's probably 50-50. Like who drives?
And you have to be sober, not because you're not because you're
intoxicated. So that's most of the time that I'm the passenger as I'm not the DD. Anytime it's a long trip, I prefer driving, and Jessica prefers sleeping. Like if it's a long trip. So that's I don't say she prefers sleeping. She likes to do other stuff. Talk, text, sleep, whatever. So that's like the long trips. And I love driving. Like I don't like sitting passenger seat just because I like being awake, and that I'm good at staying awake while driving. On like normal driving.
So that's an example of you continuing to not be in the passenger seat. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
But that I can justify. I don't know if I can really justify driving from home to downtown or something like that. I drive, and that's just sometimes Jessica will say she wants to drive, and then she drives. But it's just like that's what we normally.
But that's it. That's pretty much it, huh?
What?
When you're in the passenger seat.
Yeah, I mean, if Jessica asked, I'd say 25%, including.
Oh, it's more frequent than I would have thought.
Drinking nights.
Excluding drinking nights.
But then I'd say exclude the long trips too, and it's still probably 25%.
Why exclude the long trips?
Because there's a justification. We both prefer that. I don't know that
it's not. I'm just giving you a hard time. There's not one good thing or another. It's just.
I know.
Funny.
Yeah. I think I've sat in the back seat though more than I've sat in the passenger seat.
That's so funny.
And I say that because if I'm not driving, it's probably with like a group sometimes. And in that case,
maybe your parents or something.
I'm gonna give up the passenger seat to a woman or a older person.
Yeah, definitely.
How about you?
Nicole likes when I drive. I like driving. On trips, we definitely rotate. She really likes driving on long trips, actually, which is interesting. Around town, she doesn't like driving, so I'll usually drive. It used to be I was a horrible driver because I didn't drive for all of college. I didn't drive the first 3 years out of college, and but now I'm a very good driver because I drive all the time. But yeah, she'd pick up the wheel more than. No,
that's interesting. Yeah.
More than. Yeah. But yeah, trips is about 50-50 because we both like to drive on trips.
So that's gotta be like a social construct, right? I mean, for the guy driving.
I think so. It's gotta be.
I get like so much satisfaction, like driving. Looking over and seeing Jessica sleep while driving. Like I'm being the man.
Yeah, like, I'm taking care.
I'm taking care of it, and I can't wait to have like kids and they're asleep, and I'm like, that's my job. Like I am transporting precious cargo.
I can't wait to have kids asleep in my car. Yeah, dude, that's so good.
I thought about it. Like I used to look at my dad driving to Disney. Like we drive to LA. I just remember being like, how does he always stay awake? Like I just fall asleep. My mom falls asleep. My sister falls asleep. It's like, that's what I'm going to be doing that one day.
Totally. It's so funny. I mean, yeah, it's so funny. My dad will, if we're going on a trip, he'll take the wheel.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I got this. I'm going to drive.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. Thanks, Dad.
I definitely used to like, be like, I want to drive. Like if Jessica was like, who's driving? I'd be like, I want to drive. Now it's if one of us wants to, it's fine. But it definitely took changing. Like we probably had to talk at some point. Like I can drive sometimes. Like Jessica saying I can drive sometimes. Oh, you're right. Like you should. But until that talk, I'm pretty sure it was like I'm driving.
Yeah.
See, that's progress right there. That's
communicate. I mean, it's all like Nicole just doesn't. I don't drive for work. God, dude, I could not do a commute. I don't think I would hate it. I don't know. I'd figure it out. I love podcasts, so I guess I'd figure it out. But I mean, she doesn't even commute that far. But yeah, she 15, 20 minutes sometimes, depending on traffic.
Yeah.
But so yeah, she's done driving, and so if we're going into town or something to snag something, then I'll drive. Yeah.
Be the men.
Yeah, the men safely carrying our cargo. And so what's great, dude, we yin and yang so well. I love driving in the morning. Love it. Feel wide awake.
Yeah.
But after 8:30, toast. I'm
8:30 a.m. or p.m.?
PM.
Oh God, I was like, you got a small window.
From 8:15 to 8:35, I love driving. I love it. But then, baby, we just got to pull over, and it's my time. It's passenger time.
Yeah, I'm a night guy for sure.
Yeah, I can do it. I'm actually better at driving probably 10 p.m. to like 1 a.m. Like late.
Because no one else is on the road.
Yeah. No one notices. I can just leave and fall asleep. Yeah, that's funny. I mean, no, I feel more awake. But like 8:30 to 10:30 or whatever, I understand there's some overlap, but yeah, I get so tired.
Yeah.
So tired.
I like it. I like the darkness, the light. Cars and stuff.
But you're also a morning person too, so you love driving.
I'm not as much of a morning person. I mean, you've always been more of a
You get up earlier than I do.
No, you've always been more of a morning person. I am.
Damn, I don't know. You get up so early.
I get up out of necessity. I mean, I enjoy the morning when I'm up. I'm not like a cranky old man when I wake up.
Yeah.
But I also like when I drive to Rockland, I get up at like 5 a.m. and like I enjoy getting a coffee and driving, but like I don't like it. Like I do it out of necessity. Like I'm not like, oh, this is great. Like I'm just starting a great day. It's always on the way back. I'm like pumped up. Like it's nighttime. Getting so anyway.
Has some cars.
It's interesting.
I love it, dude. All right, I'm gonna have some dinner.
All right, man.
This is hella fun.
Send me some improv videos.
Yeah, I'll send you some improv videos, dude. I'll try to do my cars in the shop right now. I will. It has nothing to do with this, but it does have to do with this with stand up. Yeah, I'll send you some improv videos. I posted some on my story.
Dude, okay. If you post something, you need to like
I'll text you.
A text.
Yeah, I'll text.
I'm not gonna see. I only go on to look at the stuff that you and John share on from golf.
That's so good. Yeah, I love that. I love that little message group.
Any other
yeah, I'll send that. Have you seen any of my stand-up videos?
No, I don't think so. I think Jessica might have shown me a picture once of you doing stand-up. I don't think it was a video.
Oh boy. All right. I'll send you a video.
I really need, I need special texting.
I'll text you an older time I did stand up, and I'll text you a time I bombed hard.
Ooh, yes, please.
You want a real bomb? Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Wow, that's gonna be good.
That's how you pull through. If that's the worst, okay, I can deal with
just
that.
A really big bomb. Oh wow, that's 3 minutes and 36. Yeah, 3 minutes and 46 seconds of pure bomb.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, that's good stuff.
That's
good stuff. Yeah. And then I'll send you one where people kind of laugh. Still mostly a bomb, but some people laugh. Yeah, dude, good times. Dude, you gotta I gotta have you down here. You and Jessica would just, I know you guys would, gotta have you guys down here though.
Dude, we're doing it.
It'd be so fun.
Get there before summertime.
That'd be great. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be so nice. And yeah, would love to have you guys down here. You guys might, you guys won't leave for the Bay, but you guys might at least think about it.
Oh, dude, San Diego would be our move.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If you guys were gonna move, it'd be.
If we were gonna move, it'd be San Diego. If we were gonna move out of the Bay Area,
yeah,
that's like hands down. Neither of us even have to talk about it. It would happen. We've already.
Yeah, definitely.
That's our lifestyle. Like I literally still have the stupid like beach backgrounds on my computers. Like that's Hawaii is not feasible, so that's San Diego.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you guys would love it.
Yeah, we'll come visit.
But it is tough. It is tough to be a little far from family. Other than that, yeah, dude, we gotta play some golf and hang. And
got you ready for March, baby.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, God, dude, fuck. I gotta start prepping.
Yeah,
I gotta start prepping.
Start drinking once or twice.
I've been pretty much dead sober since. What was the last? I guess yours was the last bachelor. I've probably had maybe single digit drinks. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, because it's a big deal that I haven't drinking since Super Bowl. Because no,
that's so funny. Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk Super Bowl, dude. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. We'll do this. We gotta do this again.
Yeah, man. Go get some
Very
food.
Fun. All right, dude. Love you. Say hi to Jessica for me.
I will.
Give her a big hug.
I will.
And yeah, same with all your whole fam too.
All right, man. Yeah.
Miss him. Oh, what's going on with the dog? Sorry, I'm keep leaving.
Oh, dude. 28th. We pick it up on the 28th.
Holy fuck.
No, 27. 27.
Of February.
Yeah. Next Saturday.
Wow. We have to have a little special pod, dude.
Yeah.
I might come up to the Bay actually next week. I'll let you know. It might be a last minute trip, but I might do it.
So yeah, we're around that weekend. We were going to be in Beer Fest and Slow, but Puppy took precedent over that.
Oh, nice.
And only thing we're doing is going to the Warrior game Sunday night, 27th. So we're around.
Oh, sick! You guys are going to the Warriors game?
Yeah, first time at Chase Center. So
wow, that's gonna be so fun.
Yeah,
take pictures.
Yeah, no, I will. It's a little tough because we're getting the dog right then, but it was a Christmas gift, so we're doing
it's gonna be so fun.
Yeah,
wow, what a Christmas gift! Who scored on that one?
Yeah,
Justy gave that to you guys?
Yeah, it was my parents.
Oh, your parents? That's great.
It used to be a thing, but it would be like $150.
Yeah, now it's like, all right, we took a second mortgage on the home. You guys can go to the Warrior game.
We're in the third deck, and we spent $5,000.
Yeah, brutal.
My dad was able to get it during a Black Friday deal, so otherwise we wouldn't have gone. But
it's still, what's the cheapest ticket in the house these days? Usually like 120.
Yeah, you're probably looking. Yeah, if you throw in service fees, probably like 120, 150. He got like 40% off plus no transaction fees, which saved that saved like 70% a ticket because transaction fees are stupid.
It's a beautiful Di Dio gift right there.
Dude,
it's not just a gift; it's a gift that was bought with a deal.
Makes it so much more valuable.
I love that. I love.
I don't want no full price stuff like bikes.
Yeah, dude. I was in the back of my mind. I was like, I should buy this guy a Peloton. I should just do it.
What's funny? What's funny, last thing is I've been talking to my neighbor, and my neighbor's been trying to get me to get a Peloton forever.
Yeah.
I still can't do it. And I'm like, every sign in the world has told me to get a Peloton. The bike that I fixed still doesn't work right. I mean, it's not ever going to work right.
Give more fingers.
Yeah.
Before I take this Peloton.
Like, how do you justify that? Like a gym membership is not even close. Like, if you can just get to the gym, it's like way cheaper. I don't know, whatever.
It's just fun. That's how they justify it.
I know.
You get on the bikes and you're like, it's fun. But like what I do is I got the I have the digital membership, and then I go right. I just keep the volume pretty low and I get on my bike and I just ride. And I like having a guided workout. Like I enjoy those.
So when you're doing that, is there a specific biking outdoor, or are you watching a cycle and they're saying increase the resistance and you're like, okay, I'm gonna start pedaling faster? Is that? Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
And I kind of it's not perfect. You got to be careful too. You have to make sure. Do you have AirPods?
Yeah.
You have to make sure you're in transparency mode and stuff. Otherwise that's really dangerous. And but just put it in my back pocket, so I'm not looking at them. And then you just kind of have the beat of the music, and it generally you just get the vibe of the workout, like work harder, take a little time off, like work harder. And I enjoy that. I enjoy that a lot.
All right. Yeah, I know the app's good. I tried it for a little while. I might follow your lead on that.
Does Jessica use the app? One time they shouted out a person and they said, "Shout out Jessica Katzen for like 100 workouts or whatever." And I was just like,
I don't think
go, baby.
She didn't hit 100. She definitely was doing like yoga and stuff with it. We got into a big yoga.
Maybe she hit 100.
It's
pretty easy to hit 100. I think I'm at like, not to brag or anything, but to flex on everyone, I'm on like 350.
I think at most we had it for like 4 months, so I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I love the yoga. Like I would do it just for the yoga. I thought the yoga was like amazing.
I did yoga today. I love the yoga.
Yeah. And when you're getting stressed and stuff, doing yoga.
460 workouts. You like that?
Okay.
139 strength.
Stitch up your sweatshirt. You flex so hard, dude.
139 strength, dude. Wow, you can tell. Oh yeah.
Love it, dude.
Freaking pumps, dude.
Go beast up that muscle of yours with some protein.
Oh man. All right, dude. Love you.
All right,
have a good one.
Me too.
Talk soon.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Send me